December 2024, I decided to download Godot and learn the art of game dev. Obviously, I didn't understand emoji and got nothing done. Over a year later, this is my second game in the background. You can play the free playtest on Steam or directly on itch in the browser. Link in the bio. Imagine you play A Link to the Past, but you are soft locked in the map. You become the ruler and need to manage now your kingdom. Make it grow, defeat and conquer dungeons, get access to new resources until you can reclaim your kingdom and defeat evil. The gameplay is focused on your typical idle incremental gameplay with sleight of management, but not too much to lose its focus. When I started to learn game dev, my first goal was to use it as a way to make some fun videos. I made a game, but something funny. Hundreds of ideas, no skill in execution. My first real project was to make a Jump King but in 3D. Like, could be a cool thumbnail, right? If I made it 6-7 years ago when it released and you hadn't seen this idea before, then yeah, maybe it would have been good. But I followed your average advice on reddit/r/gamedev and just finished some small game. Wow, congrats that you released a game, that's huge, buddy. But in all honesty, you kinda need to burn your own fingers to learn some lessons. Just pay $100, don't come to your own perfectionism and release. It's not that hard. But in a different video I already talked about my first game flop and what I learned, you can watch it later. So yeah, it was a flop. It not even made the $100 yet after Steam cut to get paid by Steam. So afterwards I was like, okay, what game could I make? Something I want to do, but also what are games that people do enjoy? Some would say, what a genre. So I tried the approach a little bit of the guys from Domekeeper. Make a prototype, release it on itch and see what happens. I made a small idle incremental game with isometric view, maybe you saw some ISO core devlogs, and it got way higher numbers on itch. And I thought, okay, that's it. This will be my game. I made a Steam page, but I realized also game dev is hard. So after some iterations, I gave up on this project for now. I will come back to it, don't worry. So I needed another second project. Little side note for itch, I don't know how the algorithm works there, but I feel like maybe you first need to upload some games to gain the trust of itch until itch puts your game in the new search tab. But maybe it is just the genre when you can put idle incremental tag in it. I don't know. On itch, I feel like you mostly see idle incremental, visual novels, horror, and maybe roguelike card builder games. Others can also work, but they are just more rare, in my opinion. So after giving up on my original second game, I always had this fantasy. What if you could play and build Hyrule from the top-down view? I love how the map looks in A Link to the Past. Imagine the devs would have made an idle incremental type game on the SNES. Or I also loved the city builder gameplay parts in Actraiser. And that is how my other second game was born. All the tiles are basically 8x8, which I think fits, but it makes it hard to design some structure, so maybe I should have gone with 16x16, but oh well. Imagine starting from the beginning after months of work instead of just finishing what you have and then start over. Game devs would never, right? So after I think 1 or 2 months working here and there on it, I released the first little prototype on itch. Basically one screen, not too deep in the mechanics, but also worked kinda fine on the visibility on itch, so I made a Steam cage for that as well. Since then, I tried to work mostly on this game. On the weekends, I try to get a little break from it and just work on small prototypes, maybe learning something new as well, because ideally, after my second game is finished, I already have some cool prototypes that are hopefully also tested on itch and or on social media, and I have something to work on right off the bat. I decided to go also for an idle incremental game because A, I do enjoy them myself, especially with some nice twists, Berry Burry Berry for example, and B, yes, they are popular for a reason. Not because people just blindly like the genre, but because it can just be a fun and satisfying gameplay loop, described with the genre of idle incremental game. So seeing how other games in this genre are doing wonders on Steam, making good money, but still be priced in a nice range of $3 to $8, I love it. And yes, I also would like to have some money and make some success. Okay, I said it. I try to make some regular updates because I feel like there are some projects on itch that are also just good games, but also get regular updates instead of always making a new project and new site, and they do pretty well there. Always on the front page or pretty high in the search. But I would not overdo it. Only make a complete new project site if the update is very significant or you think, hey, my old page doesn't get anything views and stuff, I try something new again. Gameplay wise, I need to come up with more depth, because only press button, number goes faster high, that is boring. So in my game, I try to include first of all more the map. So depending what you focus on, it will have visual changes and it might open new paths with new possibilities. Hopefully similar, for example, to Grow RPG. Banger games back then, even though you could do nothing but guess what order to pick. And second, some depth to the battle system. It is still an idle incremental game, so you shouldn't be punished for being AFK sometimes while you maybe get attacked or something. But it didn't feel great to buy soldiers just to let them die instantly, because that was the requirement. Now your army doesn't really die, but they get weakened when fighting, so you must grow your army larger and larger. Priests are here to heal your army, and with an ever-growing army you can then capture dungeons and activate the giant crystals and some lore vielleicht. Maybe. The next big steps will be making more content, of course, and updating it more. I am trying to make at least a little short form videos about it here and there, trying out different stuff, but let's be honest, game is king. If you have something nice to show, I am hooked to watch it while doom scrolling. Then for example my video comes, or from some other small game dev, and I swipe instantly away if it's just a lame game. But it is not that much work just to record some simple gameplay and showing it. Maybe you can get lucky and it's captivating enough to get a little bit of virality and then some wishlist and you'll be a happy man. Then when the demo is nicely tested and there's good gameplay and stuff, I will send it to a bunch of content creators, hoping they make videos about it, which sparks enough interest in the viewer base. That's also important, that the viewers see it and they'll be like, hey, I want to play it too. That will not only push the Steam page with wishlists, but also hopefully the itch page, which then also generates more and more, and then it's like a snowball. Afterwards, no matter what, going into the June Steam Next Fest with a good tested demo with enough playtime, and hopefully also getting there some good wishlist numbers. And then at last, as soon as the game is finished, to release it and do it all over again with another project. That is my journey so far. Go make games, don't become YouTubers unless it is your actual goal, and go wishlist my game on Steam if you liked what you saw.